Good morning, everyone. I'm Derek. Welcome to There Will Be Cars. If you're not familiar with the channel, I typically review new vehicles that manufacturers send to me to test out, and I bring you my driving impressions. Today I'm doing something a little different. A lot of manufacturers these days hold online reveals. I attended one of those a few weeks ago, but I'm just now sharing photos and video and stats on this vehicle because today is when the media embargo lifts on all of that information. This video is about a vehicle that I actually saw in person a few weeks prior to the online unveiling, technically. If you've been on this channel before, you might remember a video I shot at a regional showcase of some of FCA's upcoming vehicles and concepts. One of those vehicles was the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392 concept. That had a bunch of bronze accents, 37-inch tires, front and rear locking diffs, but the biggest difference, obviously, was the 392 cubic inch V8 under the hood. Like I suspected, and like I'm sure many of you suspected after that concept was unveiled, it wasn't a long time until Jeep announced, oh, hey, by the way, we're actually putting this into production. Now, the official line is that they're doing this as a response to consumer demand for a V8 Wrangler. Of course, it doesn't hurt that Ford announced that they're bringing the Bronco back to take on the Wrangler, which had, for a long time, a very lucrative segment to itself. And there's the fact that Ford doesn't offer a V8 in the Bronco. So it's very convenient from that standpoint, but officially Jeep is just releasing this as a response to consumer demand. Jeep shared a bunch of photos and video about the production version of the Wrangler Rubicon 392. As you can tell by the name, they're only going to offer the 392 on the Rubicon trim level. So you won't be able to get the 6.4 Hemi in like a Sport or a Sahara or anything like that. Also, you're probably wondering, will they offer it in the two-door body style? And unfortunately, just like with the EcoDiesel, you'll only be able to get the 392 in a Wrangler Unlimited Rubicon. Jeep made a lot of other modifications. Let's start at the bottom with the wheels and tires. Always a big deal on Wranglers. The Rubicon 392 uses a set of 17-inch beadlock capable wheels. Those are wrapped in 33-inch tires. There's a 2-inch lift and Fox monotube shocks all around. And you've got wide track Dana 44s at both ends. Beyond that, Jeep beefed up the frame rails, the front upper control arms, and they use cast iron steering knuckles. Approach angle is 44.5 degrees. Breakover is 22.6. Departure is 37.5 degrees. At the front end, they went with the Gladiator-style front grille to allow more air to flow to the Hemi. Above that, they've got a Gladiator Mojave-style hood, and good news that scoop in the middle is actually functional. It incorporates a system that Jeep calls Hydro Guide. It has 3 levels of ducting and a one-way drain that separates water from intake air. That's one of the reasons why the Rubicon 392 is able to ford 32.5 inches of water. According to Jeep, even if you have the primary breathing passage completely blocked off with snow or mud or whatever, a secondary inlet allows the engine to breathe, and you can even get up to top speed. Just like the concept, the production version of the Rubicon 392 has a variety of bronze accents on the outside. So the tow hooks, the badges, and the 392 badges on the hood. What's interesting about this is not just the fact that Jeep decided to put a V8 in the Wrangler, but the fact that they skipped past the 5.7 liter and went straight to the giant 6.4 Hemi. And that makes the engine lineup for the 2021 Wrangler so diverse. So on one end, you've got the 4xe turbo gas 4-cylinder hybrid setup. Then you've got, the turbo 4 gas and Pentastar V6 and the e-torque. And then you've got the EcoDiesel. And then at the very far end, you've got this 6.4 liter monster. What I find especially interesting about the production version of the Rubicon 392 is that in a way they went beyond the concept. So this doesn't have 37s like the concept did, but it has more power. The concept version had 450 horsepower, 450 pound-feet of torque. The production version, those figures are 470. And again, you're probably wondering something. Will they offer it with a 6-speed manual? The answer is no. Jeep will only offer the 6.4 with the TorqueFlite 8 HP 75 8-speed automatic. Now, a little earlier, I was talking about how Jeep helps the big Hemi breathe. Another part of that is the dual mode active exhaust. It can go from fully muffled to straight flow, so you get more sound out of it. And if you want, you can just press a button to activate it and fully open up the exhaust and get that Hemi roar. During the online reveal, a Jeep spokesperson was talking about how they tested this Wrangler in all the normal places that they test Wranglers, you know, off-road, snow, heat, you know, desert, rock crawling, all that kind of stuff. But they made sure to mention that they also tested it at the drag strip. With that kind of power, obviously you want to see how fast it can go. According to Jeep's estimates, the Rubicon 392 can do 60 miles an hour in 4.5 seconds. Just absolutely bonkers. For doing traditional Wrangler things, the Rubicon 392 has the Select-Track full-time four-wheel drive system. That's got a 272 low-range ratio and a 48-to-1 crawl ratio. Just like other 2021 Wrangler Rubicons, the 392 will have the Off-Road Plus button. So it optimizes various settings so that you can really just fly through the desert or whatever off-road environment you're in. You can also lock the rear axle in 4 high. Inside, the biggest changes are behind the steering wheel. Not only are there paddle shifters for the very first time, but there's a new look to the instrument cluster. The infotainment setup is Uconnect 4 running on an 8.4-inch touchscreen. You can use that to access off-road pages to show you your pitch and all your various different angles while you're off-road. The front seats are performance-oriented, so they have a little more bolstering to try to keep you in them when you really unleash the Hemi power up front. Now, just in case you were wondering what the fuel economy figures on this monster are, they haven't been released yet. Those, as well as the pricing, will be coming out closer to the launch date of the Rubicon 392. And mark your calendars, it'll be in dealerships sometime in Q1 of 2021. So not too much longer to wait until you can finally get a brand new V8 powered Wrangler. I'd like to thank you for stopping by There Will Be Cars and watching this video. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like this video and subscribe to There Will Be Cars. I really enjoy bringing new content to this channel for you to watch. And feel free to leave a comment below in the comments section and tell me what you're looking forward to most about the Rubicon 392. I think I can guess what it's going to be for most of y'all, but maybe there's something different that you're really anticipating about this rig. So whatever it is, feel free to leave it below. Thanks for watching.